Ignorance is bliss. Now, this is a phrase that we say a lot, we've heard it a lot, but why is it that someone would rather be ignorant and be blissful in their ignorance? The short answer is because when you know better, then you have to do better. When you know better, you are held accountable, so therefore you have to do better. Not just by society, but by the Lord Himself. You will actually be expected to do better. And if you don't do better, then there will be consequences for it. The Bible says that the Lord look after babies and fools. Okay? If you don't know better, then technically you are a fool. Biblically speaking, that's just not me saying that. That's just not something that, sounds right with the message. But when you're ignorant, then you are a fool. When you don't know any better, you're operating under a fool. So you will not be expected to know better because the Lord will take care of you. Oh, so that's why people would rather not know better because they don't want the responsibility of doing better. They don't want the responsibility of being wise. They don't want the responsibility of making a choice. They don't want the responsibility of, being wrong or making the wrong choice. They don't want the weight of that. Most times, like if someone is in the hospital and they're on their deathbed, and the family have to decide whether or not if they want to pull the plug, so to speak, if they want to stop medications or if they want to make those end of life dispersal. And nobody wants to be the one to make that decision because you don't want to make the wrong choice. We don't like to make hard choices. We don't want to be held accountable. Sometimes it's actually because we don't want to stop doing what we know is ignorant because we enjoy it. We don't want to stop going to the club. We don't want to stop drinking. We don't want to stop having sex outside of marriage. We don't want to choose one person. We don't want to choose better friends. We don't want to admit that we chose that baby. We don't want to admit that we chose that baby. So we don't want to admit that our choices is the reason for our lives being the way that it is. So a lot of times, ignorance is bliss because we don't want the responsibility of not being ignorant. Point blank and period.